day 21, 3 weeks of the challenge. So we're doing good, we're doing good. Babies are crying, the wind is howling, it's really wet and stormy outside, and I had a bit of a disaster because the rain blew in. I didn't realise how bad it was and that I'd left my window open. And 3 of my Playful Heart tarot cards got completely wrecked. They're that kind of like linen-y, finishy cardstock, and it doesn't stand up to any water or anything like that at all. It's pretty much disintegrated, so I've written to Kitten Shop, Zara, to see if I can get some replacements. Hopefully I can. Most places do replacements for the cost of a stamp, so with any luck, I don't mind, you know, paying a little bit, but we'll see. Because I really love that deck, and it's the second one I've had. I gave my first one away to someone who loved it too. Then I didn't realise it had gone out of print. I had to wait for the second edition to come out. Anyway, that was a bit of a watery disaster. Queen of Cups getting a bit too rambunctious. Okay, we'll do our last day of the ad orbiter. For the moment, anyway. I'm really liking the deck, and the more I look at the, I think yesterday's poem for the King of Swords was brilliant. I really do. Pretty cool. Right, 21. The Star. Oh, what a beautiful card. That's probably a starflower. It is a starflower, isn't it? So the Star is the card of hope and inspiration, and it's definitely a yes card, and all the good things and joy, and basically what it is, you look up in the sky and you see the stars twinkling, and I think it's about mythology and storytelling too, because of the ancient stories by the starlight and the stars. I always think of being around a bonfire and looking at the stars when I see this card. And it's, the star is the ruler of Aquarius, but Aquarius is air, and but there's a lot of blessings. The star is basically a blessing. I think in the tarot, the star is the blessing card. It's the hope and the inspiration. It's ethereal, it's not the material thing, but it's the thing that you need to lift your spirits if you're down. And yeah, I mean, you could say a million things about stars, but it is what it is. It's the star. It is the shining star. I think it is related to the Greek gods, the stars that are the morning and evening star, but they're really Venus in my book, so we'll do that one. That's star. Oh, we haven't read the poem. What am I like? What have I done with the book? I had to clean. I've got my houses lit up. I don't know if you can see them because I wanted to talk about the house card. Okay, the star, number 17. Roused by the light of another galaxy star, born of past woe where new orbits may grow. This is a place where we're free to invent things we've never seen or been given or sent. The imagination card. New orbits from past woes. Roused by the light of another galaxy star. Born of past woe from the star explosion. Where new orbits may grow. This is a place where we're free to invent things we've never seen or been given or sent. So it's definitely like the given our card, the imagination angle, and the hope, and the joy, and the blessings. It's a great card. So now we're going to do the Oracle. I've got too much going on here because I got out the cards from, I had to use a mini Rider-Waite deck that remind me of the house, because I wanted to talk about why I love the house card that I got the other day when I was in the Driftwood house. My aunt and uncle in-law had a house, a wooden house by the sea called Driftwood. I loved that place. They were both artists. Okay, and we've got to count to 17. I'm learning how to speed this part up. The Seer. Oh, that's kind of funny because I wrote a stupid little rhyme. Well, when I got the water on the cards, I did a reading. It was a fun thing for this community group I spoke of, the school group that I was talking about. I did a little quick reading about how this kind of workshop was going to go. And they said, oh, they didn't know how it was going. It'd be a first one. And I said, well, I do because I'm a mystic. And I drew 3 cards and I got the 7, I think I got the 7 of Cups, the 7 of Pentacles, the 7 of Cups and the World. And I wrote this little poem about learning and choices and applause and anyway. But I said I was a mystic, and then I've got the Seer, who looks like the guy, can you see, I'm looking in the mirror. It also reminds me of A Lady of Shalott. I love that poem. Fantastic. Tennyson's poem. All the doors were open wide, the mirror cracked from side to side. The curse has come upon me, cried the Lady of Shalott. Very awesome. So, but it's Ceridwen's Cauldron there. So the Seer, number 41. The visionary prophecy, creative thinking, insight, muses, connection, eternity, and clarity. Well, the star is musing and creative thinking, and clarity goes with the star too, so they relate. And the stars are definitely mystical. The Seer holds profound wisdom and knowledge. As the lunar nomad, she has traversed the many spheres of existence, both physical and metaphysical. Her explorations has made her well versed in the mysteries of life and beyond, making her wildly sought after for wise counsel. She holds in her hands a mirror into the unknown. She can see the tides of the past, present and future, the intimate facets of your heart and the answers to life's riddles. People have travelled far and wide to sit with the Seer, to hear her oracular prophecies, to learn her arcane wisdom and to experience her magical influence. Standing at the mouth of wisdom between worlds, the Seer speaks with the voice of spirit. She weaves magic and wonder with her stories, but encourages you to experience for yourself all the wonders of the universe. She can be called a witch, magician, healer, shaman, or cartographer. Bring your questions, concerns, and fears to the Seer. She will cast her magic cards, cradle you in her web of protection, and take you deeper into your own soul. Should you be brave enough to seek out the Seer and dedicated enough to truly listen, she will reveal the map of destiny and the instructions to read it. The Seer will show you the ways to open and close the doors to the lunar side. She will help you to see beyond the limited vistas of physical reality and rekindle your connection to your own infinite wisdom. The Seer expresses the limitless possibilities of the soul. She gives you the secret of life, and you are both the dreamer and the dream. As you hold the Seer, peer into the mirror of her. You will find that you are one and the same. The Seer is you on the deepest level, the you that has always been inside. Through time and experience, you have taken the nomadic quest to reclaim your personal power. You are now awakened and not limited by the constraints of reality. When you move freely between the solar and lunar sides, you awaken your creative imagination to the abstract impressions and raw power and channel them into fruition. Step into the place of discovery on all levels. You hold the tools of wisdom to truly thrive in life, to weave magic and create wonder. The Seer reinstates your rightful place as a co-creator of your reality. Partner with Spirit to move, shift and transform every area of your life. Ask yourself, how am I using my psychic impressions to navigate and create my reality? Can I use my logic and intuition simultaneously? The Seer invites you to delve deeper into dream work, healing and meditation. Take time to honour the cycles of the seasons and the passages of the moon. You are a sensitive and perceptive creature. The more you can move with these tides, the more fluid your life will become. That's something I'm learning. Flow. I definitely do mood. I always watch the moon, and the moon has a big effect on me. It is my planetary ruler. I do use all things simultaneously. The seasons, the cycles of the seasons. It's the spring equinox, Ostara, here on Tuesday, which I am not usually happy about, but I've got to learn to go with the flow and be where I am and not have these old beliefs that I really don't like, spring and summer or light. There was something that really kind of interested me here. I like the co-creator of your reality, like writing your own chapter, writing the next chapter. I love that concept. And there was something here that I really liked. Oh, there's something when I was reading it that struck me, a statement, but I can't find it again. Weaving magic and wonder. Oh, I love this. This is a storyteller as well. I love story and doors. The lunar side is kind of good too. And reclaiming personal power is pretty awesome and something that I've been doing too, and a lot of us that are on this journey at this time of life. Well, that is pretty wonderful. I like that a lot. I like the star and I like the seer. So we're going to put those down and then we're going to talk about houses, because I'll prop that up on my little stone, because I got the house card the other day. In the houses have always been, I'm going to find the card, incredibly important to me since I was a child. That was the house card. I'm not particularly fond of that illustration on that card, but I like what it means. I've always been obsessed with houses, really attracted to houses. I think to me, being a crab of the zodiac, my house is something that has to be with me. I have to feel safe and secure. I have to have that sense of home. So whenever I go anywhere and travel, I have to take things that make me feel like I'm at home. Just little things, you know, like my tarot. I have to have them around me. And even if I'm in a hotel or something for a night, I will set up like a night light, get my journals out, set it all up like the room, you know, to make it my home. I am definitely a nurturer and a homemaker. I do have a story about homes, and my last house in England, which was my dream home, but I won't tell that tonight. But when I was, as I said, when I was a kid, and I've said this before, I used to go round and ask people to draw me a house. I actually used to want them to look like towers, but I wanted them to draw me houses, and I was like 2 or 3, and I just loved them. I would draw houses, I would make houses. Completely loved houses, and I still do love houses. I remember walking home from school in the dark. We lived a long way from the school. We lived out sort of in the country, but it was like a 3-mile walk, a long way for my little tiny legs. And I'd look in the windows and see the lights in the houses, and it represented this safe place, this heaven, this idyllic world. And houses represent that to me. They represent everything that's like safe and like perfect and amazing. So one of the cards that reminds me of the house is the 6 of Cups, which is the childhood card and childhood memories. It has got a house in it in the Pamela Coleman Smith one, but it does really remind me of the house. And that reminds me of that. The other one, the 5 of Pentacles, reminds me of looking in the windows at that light, at the light. The other card, the main one, that is obviously the 4 of Wands, is the closest card, I think, in the tarot to the house. But that's about celebration and, you know, the joy and everything lovely. And then the other 2 that are more, well, these are more about the material side of the house, but like the 9 and 10 of Pentacles. The 9 is the one with the garden, like it celebrates the house and the garden. But I think he's the Lord of material wealth, and that's, no, material gain, and that one's the Lord of wealth. And that one is, in some card, it's got all the family gathered around, and you've also got the house and the tower in the background. Those cards, I said, all remind me for different reasons of the house. The house is like, it's a boundary, isn't it? It's a boundary where there's a different world inside the house and outside the house. So you've got the inner house and then you've got the outer house. And ever since the beginning of time, when they had like caves and, or not the beginning of time, but a long time ago, they were precious and they used fire to protect them. And I think this is Venus in Aries. So there'd be some fire there, and Venus is not happy in Aries. Venus does not like the fire of Aries, but Venus makes Aries better. And these 2 are both in Virgo, and that one's in Scorpio, the watery. So the house, home fires, the whole thing about houses, and I collect these little tea lights. I can't pick them up because they're too hot. I don't know if I've got one that's not lit up that I can show you. I've been collecting them for years, and I've got little tiny ones and different size. Here's one here, different size ones, and I've got a little tower one. I've got some in the other room. So, oh, it's got a candle in it, but it's not lit. So they're like, that's one of them. And you just put a little tea light in the bag. Because I said, I love candles. And I like them, and they just make me feel safe. They make me feel at home. They make me feel, I don't know, little things. I think when we collect things, there's a reason behind it, and the reason is because it makes us feel good and safe. And when we feel good, and our original feelings of safety and goodness were things that we had when we were a child, and we didn't really have I didn't have a set family or home really when I was a child. We were kind of lodgers, I guess. They were family, but not in the blood way. My mum, my sister, and myself. We were just a little, us three really. And then we had, these people were very, very good that raised us, and we did call them aunts and see them as family. There was never that house and home thing that I dreamed of, but I did create it for my own family. And then my mum had a house, but I had left home by the time my mum really got her own house. So I never had that sense of family and house as a child, but it was something I always wanted. And I always liked the fairy tales that had, well, I loved Rapunzel because it had the tower. I like Hansel and Gretel because it had the house, not because the house was made of sugar and biscuits and cookies and sweets, but because it was a house in the wood, and a house in the wood is the best house of all. I mean, my house would be in a wood with a path down to the sea. I'm growing a wood around my house, well, a little forest. I keep planting as many trees as I can on the land. This house that I live in now, my house, it's taken me because there's a house and then there's home. Home is different, but it is the house. Ideally, the house and the home are one, but you can never have your home in a building, really, I guess, because your home has got to be with you. You've got to feel at home in your body, in yourself, with your people. The house does help though, that security, but it's only in the last, I don't know, the last couple of years that I've really started to see this house that I've been living in now for 16 years. I've only just started to see it as my home, because I always had this feeling that I was going to go back to England. England does feel more like home to me. I don't even know how this house became kind of a home. I've always sort of, you know how like my daughter has very different ideas to me about things, and likes the modern, and one of my daughters likes the kind of idea of the modern, everything perfectly straight and new and grey, and that kind of, not minimalist necessarily, but just everything smooth and clean edged and everything. Sometimes I have this idea that I kind of like that a bit because it would be easier to find things and my mind would be clearer. But I actually don't. I mean, no matter how, I don't even try. I don't try to design or create my surroundings. They just happen. So I have a very eclectic style, and it's just me. It's just what's come about. And I was in the room where I was going to turn into my video room. I was trying to do some stuff in there, and I had this idea or vision in my head of it being kind of pretty, you know, I knew what colours I wanted, and it was going to be clean, more clean cut, because it was going to be a place I was going to work and make videos and things. And it's kind of divided almost in two by a big shelf unit in the middle, and it's almost like a church vestry. One half has got a bed in it, and the other half was going to be the like studio area. And when I put the bed in, and I got all my old Banjara embroidery that I collect, I was doing the cards on one the other night, and had them on the walls in the bed, and it just looked like my house in England. I can't help myself. I end up with these, as I said, eclectic decor. I will take you, when I get braver with the camera, or get a better camera now, I will take you around to show you some bits. As I said, I can't use a wide angle lens on my phone, so it makes it very difficult to do anything like that. But I will show you bits of the house. And it's my safety. It's, mate, especially my room. My room, when I go there, I go in there and I feel safe, like they would have done in the cave. It's something. A house is more than a building. It's kind of something that's gone down through the years, but it's a concept. You know, you can look. I used to go on trains and look out of the window and see houses going by, and I would immediately be building a story in that house. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about houses. And my dream house that I had in England that I left, I'll never really... It's always going to be my dream house. It was my dream house. It was a dream come true. And I won't ever be able to forget that house. Anyway, I've rambled on far too long. There we go. There's some house talk for you. Oh, and I found some of my wands. These are not ones I've made, but these are ones that I got years ago in England. They're beautiful. This guy made them. This one is holly. I can't remember what that one is. That one is... Oh, that might be yew. And I think this one is old black oak, bog oak. I don't know if you can see them. Anyway, I love them. They just feel so beautiful. So I'm going to go, and we've done this for 3 weeks now. 3 amazing, wonderful, joyful, inspiring weeks. And I still don't know if I should start another channel for all my other stuff that I go on about instead of boring tarot people. I'll see. But next week, so this is the 3rd week, so I haven't really done a lot of different stuff except yesterday. And I've been trying to learn little things, like putting my little pictures in, little writing things in that I do in Photoshop. But I want to learn the software how to edit out the mistakes I make when like when the light was flickering and stuff, and if I drop something and I have to start it again to put it together. That's all something I've been doing over the last 2 or 3 weeks. And getting more comfortable talking. But next week I want to do a few different things, so I'm going to try and make some daytime videos, so I maybe can do something like journaling, maybe go out in the garden, or at least do something. If I'm really brave, I might do a little bit of talking head or face, or be on camera, but that still scares me because I haven't got myself in the space where I can get over that stupidity of thinking I'm a weirdo and I look weird and I fidget and I can't, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go, rambled on, as I said, way too long, and you're amazing for putting up with it if you do. So thank you, and I hope you enjoyed the house talk and the cards. Happy Star and Seer. We should read The Lady of Shalott. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, bye.